Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Totally Human. Thanks for the suggestion, Totally Human. You asked, why are there 360 degrees in a circle? A fair question, because 360 feels oddly specific. Why not 100 degrees, or 400, or even 10 if we wanted to keep math mercifully short? Who decided this was the magic number for a perfect circle? Grab your imaginary protractor and a slice of ancient history, because today we're finding out how our circles ended up with 360 degrees, right here on Explaining Everything. To find out why circles have 360 degrees, we have to go way back, about 4,000 years, to ancient Mesopotamia. That's where the Babylonians, some of the earliest math geniuses, were doing their thing. These people loved numbers. While we use a base 10 system because of our 10 fingers, the Babylonians used a base 60 system. It sounds weird now, but it made perfect sense to them. 60 can be divided evenly by 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That made their calculations clean and flexible, even without calculators. This base 60 system showed up in a lot of things they did, like measuring time, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. And that same mathematical mindset influenced how they thought about geometry and circles. Historians believe that's where the idea of dividing a circle into 360 parts came from. Not because someone declared it one day, but because it just fit neatly into their number system. So, while we can't say for sure, the Babylonians sat down and said, let's make circles 360 degrees. It's clear that their love for 60-based math made it a natural, convenient choice. Another likely reason for the number 360 has to do with astronomy, the original science of staring at the sky for months and hoping something moves. The Babylonians were expert sky watchers. They noticed that the sun's apparent movement around the sky took about 1 full year. A year, of course, is roughly 365 days, but the ancients often worked with calendars that had 360 days and added a few extra days to catch up later. That number, 360, was tidy, round, and played nicely with their base 60 math. So, they may have drawn a connection. The sun moves through the sky in a giant circle each year, so 1 degree could represent 1 day. Now, to be clear, historians don't have definitive proof that this was exactly their reasoning. It's one of several strong theories, but it lines up with what we know about ancient astronomy and math. In any case, 360 became a practical and symbolic number. It represented the passage of time, the heavens, and completeness. The circle wasn't just geometry, it was the universe itself, perfectly divided. Fast forward to ancient Greece, and mathematicians like Hipparchus and Euclid came along. These guys loved geometry the way some people love reality TV. They couldn't get enough. By this time, the idea of dividing circles into 360 degrees was already known from Babylonian astronomy. The Greeks didn't invent it, but they adopted and refined it. They found it incredibly convenient for geometry and astronomy, since 360 has a ton of divisors, 24 to be exact. That means you can divide a circle evenly into halves, quarters, sixths, tenths, twelfths, whatever you like, without breaking your brain. Try that with 100 degrees and you'll immediately regret it. So, the Greeks ran with it. They used degrees to measure angles, rotations, and even directions for navigation. It became part of mathematical tradition and, eventually, education. No official law ever declared that a circle must have 360 degrees. It just became the standard over time, passed along from one civilization to another. And because it worked so well, no one ever bothered to change it. There's also a deeper, more symbolic reason the number 360 endured. It wasn't just mathematical, it was meaningful. Many ancient cultures saw the circle as a symbol of perfection and eternity. The number 360, being close to the number of days in a year and easily divisible, represented harmony and completeness. Even beyond Babylon, civilizations like the Egyptians and Persians used 360-day calendars before adding extra festival or adjustment days. This concept of 360 as a full cycle spread widely, making it a kind of universal number for wholeness. By the time Greek mathematicians incorporated it into formal geometry, the 360-degree circle had both practical and philosophical weight. From there, the system spread through Roman education, into Islamic astronomy, and finally into modern math and science. At that point, it was locked in. When something works that well for thousands of years, you don't fix it. You just use it, even if you're not entirely sure who started it. It's one of those rare cases where math, astronomy, and culture all overlapped to create something so useful that it survived 4,000 years without a rebrand. Sure, at one point, the French tried to change it to 400 degrees, but that didn't stick. 360 just feels right. It's tidy, ancient, and deeply woven into how we measure the world. So next time you see a perfect circle, remember, it's not random. It's a 4,000-year-old Babylonian brainwave that survived through empires, philosophers, and bad math exams. Proof that sometimes the oldest ideas really are the best ones. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe take a moment to thank the Babylonians next time your geometry homework makes you cry. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for tuning in and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about here on Explaining Everything.